Thank you so very much for joining us. This is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged the National Assembly of Nigeria to begin amending the constitution to allow the creation of state police as part of efforts to address Nigeria's worsening security crisis. Speaking during an interfaith Iftar with members of the Senate of Nigeria at the presidential villa, Tinubu said the country is extremely challenged by terrorism, banditry, and insurgency. He stressed that constitutional changes are necessary to empower states to improve security, reclaim forests from armed groups, and allow citizens, especially children, to live without fear. Tinubu asked lawmakers to begin a serious discussions on constitutional amendments that would formally introduce state police into Nigeria's security framework. We still have Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for hanging on. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Barrister, let's get talking. Why is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu looking like he is helpless in allowing this pass through the same Senate that every now and then it doesn't take him any time to get them to approve the many loans that he has taken that we do not know what he has used them for? He doesn't take time to get the Senate to approve for the Electoral Amendments Act, which he signed in less than 48 hours. It doesn't take him time to get the Senate to do all his biddings. Why then is he making it look very common? Okay, let's follow due process in the case of state police. Do you think that the president is really not interested in the state police at this point?
Yeah, let me, in all those ones you mentioned that I did, the due process will also follows. There may be issues because of the due process. The due process are not followed. You see, the president political strategist, personal strategist, and the president is exhibiting that. The president, as far as I'm concerned, is trying to take the Ghana. Because if it truly, what the president is, when he was interested in the past, you know how you said how strict he was. At this, you see, at this level, the president not even him himself becoming president, because the APC gained power. The president has been proponent of state security. One of the people in the front of security. So that would be about, if that would have 10 or 11 years ago. We talked about before over 10 years ago. The president has been in the forefront of that. Took him over 3 years. He now urged the slaves to do all what is required to pass it. Bearing in mind that this process of constitution is not a tea party. It's not something that we just wake up in the morning and then pass in the evening, or the next day, just like national anthem bill. This is a bill that will require not less than 2/3 majority of members of the Senate and the House of Reps for this to come. And it will not stop there. You have to be approved by the resolution of the assembly of the state assemblies, and the outcome of assemblies, of not less than 2/3 of them, of all the states. So, tell me, Henry, would that be possible within now and the election period? We didn't have the time to sit down and pass this bill that was talking about. Bearing in mind the primaries are likely to come up in May or June of the party. After primary campaign will start, they all those things. So, so how would they now? When would they be able to pass it? For me, the president just want to show that look, there are people for record, so that people will not say he's not interested in it. He did not say anything about it. Because for you to this state police, you must amend certain provisions of the constitution, like I said, the 217 or 8 or 218. These are like, and I'm putting the procedure down. Like, it's not something that will be done with you. They are table. It's not going to be, it must be part of the assembly. Aside from being part of the assembly, you must go through the state out of assemblies. how soon will they be able to do this? How easy are we going to do it? You see, it appears the president is not interested in the state police. Now, it appears the president has a why outside the power, he was condemning it, he was criticizing it, he was asking for it. Now, from getting to the power, he realized that look, taking away this power will likely affect his performance or his service. And then he's trying to military on it. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, has not shown enough seriousness to show that he wants to do the fact. He has not shown enough concern about this bill. Oh, sorry, about this security. What are we talking about? Structure of the security structure in the country. So as far as I'm concerned, the president has not done enough. And I see what they said as a attempt to play the balance. I will not rely on it. Anyway, we have the National Assembly and most of the states who are now on the mandate of the president. Probably because of that, they can do everything fast. The National Assembly will pass it. Then almost all the 30 states, 80 states. From there, they will get to third, and they will not be obstacles. So if that is possible, well, they can apply it, and that makes it easy again. That makes it achievable, contrary to what I said earlier. If the ones are going in that line, then if the president is serious, he will put more pressure on them. Then we will see them eating the ground running, and then see and give us and believe whether or not they want to do that. I am of the view that it's now feel that we need to change the structure, security structure that we have today. The situation whereby the state will not have power to control the people of police in the state is not very well for us. A state whereby there will be issue in my state, the governor will have to wait for the directive of the president or the IGP that will take permission from the president to deploy whatever, or so the president will have to wait for the president to deploy military in the area where there are crises in our country. It don't all go well for us. The president declared state of emergency on security, and since then, I have not seen anything done that is different from what's on that. I'm not aware that any member of people personnel have been employed into the military or police or other agencies. So then if the states have this responsibility, they will know how to recruit their people to get it done. Yes, people will say, the state we agree it. The whatever will do this and that. If the federal not abusing what we have to do, but I don't know abusing it, what we have to do.
Yes, but
so if you are doing that way, they abuse it.
Yeah, sorry to interject, Barrister. You are one of those. I do not know if this example is similar, but I'll just have to, note it because I've had a series of conversations with you where you agree that we do not necessarily need a change in our constitution. Like many analysts have said that we need a change in constitution. You rather say that let's keep our constitution and try to be better persons, that the constitution is to be applied by human beings. Constitution cannot work on its own. The same thing now, if we can juxtapose it with the Nigerian police force. Do you think we need state police or to work on our own police that we already have to make them more efficient? What's your take?
Yeah, that is also a solution. That's also part of the solution, but that would not be enough. Like I just gave you an example of a situation whereby a state government that is called chief security officer of the state. You cannot control the police.
Yes, but don't you think that's a man-made problem? Barrister, don't you think that's a man-made problem? And that can be corrected.
It's not a man-made problem.
It is a man-made problem because if the IGP instructs the Commissioner of Police on any state to take action on very sensitive matters, it would be done. So it's a man-made problem that can be taken care of by man.
You are missing my point. I did not say IG not directing the Commissioner of Police. I said the governor. So if the IGP is direct Commissioner of Police, with the governor first of all, not first of all reach out to the IG? The way the law is today, The commander-in-chief of armed forces is the president. The IGP has his supervised by the president. The IGP is not doing anything. He has the authority. He must seek your permission to do anything from the president. And the commissioner of police are under the control of the IGP. They are not under the control of the governor. So the law in that regard has to be changed. To reduce that, to change that authority. Give that authority to the state. So as it is today, the authority. So I did not say we don't need to change the constitution, but there are things that are already fixed in the constitution. Now if you don't change it, you will not. Even if you want to do as a woman, you want to act in that manner, you'll be acting contrary to the law.
But Barrister, yes, but Barrister, we have a success story in the southwest of Nigeria. Amotekun was created by governors of the southwest, and up until when it started dying down a bit, they were very strong to check all of the menace we have in the southwest of Nigeria, and that was the prerogative of the governors. Okay, so don't you think it's equally the lackadaisical attitudes of our governors not being great at good governance that caused so many of the problems we have with security matters in their various states?
I agree with you that some of the governors are not showing enough capacity or enough knowledge. Then you also agree with me that the amendment we are talking about today, where is it? How strong is it today since that time? You know why? Because they have limitation. There are things they cannot do. Amotekun can only arrest, he cannot take you to court, he cannot do anything. Even if you commit offense, you don't have the right to just execute you or even shoot at you. I'm not even sure they are carrying gun. They are not permitted to carry. So these are the issues. They have limitations. These they are like just ordering local security. And if you have a federal security that is working well, we can complement them with the local security. But the way we have today, there is no federal security that is working. What are the numbers? There are so many issues there. So for me, it go beyond that. Yes, they can come up with those areas, but they will have a limitation, and that's why it's a matter of time. In how many states? Isn't Amotekun functioning very well? In how many states? In the South we are talking about. How many of the states are they working well? Are they performing well? I'm not aware you have Amotekun in Lagos State. I'm not aware.
No, they need to be in Lagos because Lagos has a trust fund, and it's the governor is actually equipping the federal police very well, and that's why they have been very effective. Like I said before, don't you think all of these are rooted in the laziness of our governors not doing what they should do? You made a mention of Lagos. Lagos is a textbook example of a state that has taken security matters very seriously. If Kwara, the governor of Kwara, for example, can take such issue very seriously, don't you think we won't have all of these killings happening in that state?
I agree with you. We're not talking about what they're not doing. What they will be doing must be in line with the law. Can a governor now on his own just create a security outfit and give them guns and ask them to be doing this and that? That is the point. You see, to allow them do that. I agree with you completely. Especially regarding my state, my governor has been lackadaisical, has been nonchalant, has not been showing capacity. But notwithstanding, we're not talking based on the governor that is there now. For other people who are coming, for those who show capacity, for them not to be limited by law. That's what we're saying. Some people, there will be a time who will come and challenge these things. Amotekun that we're talking about is not backed by the law that I'm not sure there's any law that back there now that although I'm aware certain things were put together at that time. But if you try to look at those things, people will challenge that. There will be a time when people will challenge it, and they won't have. They will tell you it's not proper. There are things they will do that will be challenged, and because they are Amotekun, they won't be able to defend it. Especially as it is today now, if Amotekun should arrest any criminal, they have to go and hand them over to the police. And we are saying the police are not doing the right thing. And that once you hand them over to the police, they will either release them or you won't hear about it again. So should we continue that manner? So, but if the law is changed to allow the state to also create its own and control its own security architecture, direct how it will work, and then you will be able to know that, look, the blame will go to the state. You will not be sharing any blame again. Now the state will push it to the federal. Federal will push it to the states because the law says the president is the commander-in-chief of armed forces. The president can still remain the commander-in-chief of armed forces, but certain power should be given to the states to be able to do their own security architecture. So I think they are being limited by law in this regard. Even though I agree with you that they can think outside the box, create their own security outfit. They will just be like neighborhood if the law is not changed.
Yes, but Barrister, do you think that the democracy we practice is this one amongst many issues that come with democracy as it's practiced in Nigeria? Because I have had the opportunity of researching on issues like this in the past. You remember Anini in the 80s, Osumbo, and many of those criminals then at the time that were equally doing all these sorts, kidnapping people, killing people and all that. The military at the time had a way of dealing with these issues that all of them disappeared. So what is wrong basically in the democracy that we practiced that is making it quite difficult for us not taking care of security matters in our country?
Corruption. That is a simple answer. Corruption is a problem, and lack of willingness to deal with it and punish people who have been found wanting in that regard. Corruption is what is causing it. We have a lot of our system has been bastardized by corruption. Corruption here does not mean stealing of money alone. The attitude of people not even so many things constitute what we call corruption, and you see it not doing the right thing, not following the right law, and trampling on the right of the citizen. It's corruption, and people are not being punished. So corruption, lack of transparency, lack of accountability, lack of respect for rule of law is the reason why we are where we are today. Before then, we at least we fear law to an extent. And at that time, you also believe that at that time you agree with me that some of the institutions are working to an extent. Today, most of the institutions are at the beck and call of individuals. Individuals can wake up in the morning and tell you, individuals in Nigeria today, no, they see themselves as those in the authority. I'm not about some people in the authority. They see themselves as whatever they say or whatever they think is the law, not what the law says. So that is it. So the law is no longer working. Respect for the rule of law have been put at the back. So the day we realize that we will follow the law, the day we do the right thing, the day we fight corruption, and the day we get it right. And so if somebody is corrupt and you find excuses for him because he's closer to you, or because he loves you, or because you want to protect him, he will continue to do that.
But do you think? Yes, thank you. But yeah, do you think if we bring back a firing squad, it will serve as a deterrent to all the criminals and terrorists and insurgents we have in Nigeria? Do you think it will make them see reasons not to hurt their fellow Nigerians and people in the country?
If you do what? Can you please come again?
I say if we bring back firing squad as was experienced during the military era of criminals and terrorists and insurgents, do you think that might serve as deterrent to those who might be thinking of going into kidnapping, insurgency and terrorism in Nigeria?
Of course, if you are talking about punishing them, or what do you say?
Yes, firing squad, as in to execute them. publicly that we used to do at Bar Beach back in the days.
It's not the manner of execution. It's not the manner of execution that is the problem now. Are they even being tried at all? How many people that we call bandits and terrorists that have been arrested? How many of them have been convicted? How many of them are even facing their trial? Is it the same people that they will arrest them, and thereafter they will say they are working on amnesty or granting them an amnesty, or they will say they want to non-kinetic approach, and therefore they will have to release them or in exchange for this and that. So it's not about the manner of punishment. Are we even taking steps at all to even punish? Talk less of even the manner of punishment.
So can the judiciary take the blame for it? Can the judiciary equally take a piece of that blame?
If you say a piece of the blame, yes. But you cannot be the one to be blamed for executive not bringing people up to be prosecuted, for executive not doing his investigation and do diligent prosecution. You cannot blame the judiciary for that. Probably because most people don't know that those prosecutions are not part of judiciary; they are executive. And for the judiciary to convict anybody, the prosecutor must present a case that is in line with the law. So if there is no proper investigation, if there is no diligent and proper prosecution, how do you expect judiciary to convict? So I will not blame. Yes, if you say a bit, yes, they may act sometimes, but it's not their fault. You can't blame them. If they didn't bring criminals into their or those into them, will the judges now go and be on their own pressing them and say, "Come and become why?" So it is whatever they bring before them that they will try, and it's evident they put before them that they will look into. So you cannot say usually at the cause or whatever, because that's the excuse are only there. Even the executive, they always put the blame to the judiciary, forgetting that they are the one to do the job, the major job. 80% of the job has to be done by the executive, the investigation and the prosecution. What the judge is required to do is to listen to them and decide based on that evidence before it. So if you fail to present those evidence, if you fail to do proper prosecution, can you blame the judges for that? Can you blame the judiciary for that? So for me, if you say they have a bit of a what's it called? What do you say now? Blame, yes. But not generally fault.
All right. Thank you so very much, Barrister. It's actually quite sad that we're having this discussion and making it a case, but that is the reality. There used to be a time in Nigeria where it was a wonderful thing for Nigerians to take a travel from one place to another, from one state to another. Wherever they get to, they stop there and enjoy the serenity of that vicinity in whichever state they find themselves. At that time, security was not a big deal then. Kidnappings, banditry, insurgency was not part of our culture. Unfortunately, with politics and politicking and plugging to the center and wanting to take everything all to themselves, it has led to people becoming greedy, people becoming selfish, and Nigerians not seeing other Nigerians as friends and brothers any longer. Everyone is looking at each other as a food or meal ticket, which is not supposed to be so. But we hope that things will get better with the right kind of leaders, and hope that the new Inspector Chief, of course, would do the needful and possibly ensure that things work for Nigeria. Thank you so very much, Barrister. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you, Barrister. And that's our time for today. We'd love to say thank you for making this a date. Please do well to follow us. You can go to our site, that is enterprisetvnews.com, to read up on everything we have talked about today. And you can equally visit us on our social media handles at Enterprise TV7, where you would have all our videos, and you equally have the opportunity of downloading and sharing to your friends and your folks, and equally drop your comments if you have any, and we would be there to read them and reply if we need to. My name is Henry Gwibike, and I wish you a very wonderful day. May God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and most importantly, Nigerians. Bye-bye from me.